let's go to MLB. Crazy,
Baseball.
absolutely crazy stuff. Feels nice to actually talk about baseball again.
Oh,
Uh, two
it's so nice.
2 weeks ago we started talking. Zach and I talked a little baseball when Conlon wasn't here. Then last week we just did the March Madness episode. So Conlon, you can finally join us in on some baseball talk here. But I just want to list off some of the signings. I'm not going to list all of them off because I put a ton on here. But a couple big ones. Trevor Story went to the Red Sox. Chris Bryant signed with the Rockies.
Makes no sense.
Correa,
So
no, not at
dumb.
all. Huh?
That's so dumb.
Oh yeah. Correa went to the Twins. Let's see, the Phillies bolstered up a little bit. They got Castellanos and Schwarber, which we'll get into it, but it's kind of like building their strength rather than filling weaknesses that they have. Luke Voigt went to the Padres. That was like a little like under the
I kind of like
radar
that.
move. Yeah. I think it's good for him.
Yeah,
New York,
because
New York's got a lot of pressure, and I think he kind of just do his thing in San Diego. Freddie Freeman went to the Dodgers. Nelson Cruz went to the Nationals. Another one that doesn't make sense.
makes no sense.
Mariners got Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez from the Reds for prospects. That helps the Cardinals out
Yes.
in the division. And I'll just finish it up with Matt Carpenter signs a minor league deal with the Rangers. Biggest one of them all.
Going back home. I kind of hope he at least just gets on the roster. It's kind of nice. He lives in Fort Worth, so hopefully it makes I don't hate Matt Carpenter. I just didn't like the way he played the last 2 years.
Is there any signings that stood out to you guys more than others?
The only one for me was the Trevor Story deal. One, I was surprised he got that many years.
Yes, I'm happy we didn't pay him that much.
I'm very happy we did not. And we've talked about this before, but he only bats like 232 away from Coors Field.
Yeah.
So that's a big concern, I think. And also, I'm sure they'll move him to second base.
Yeah,
But
they already
the
said
Red
they will.
Sox, the Red Sox best player played short, so I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know they already said that they'll move to second, but
So
I don't know.
Bogarts has 1 year left, I believe, before he's a free agent.
I don't know what
I
his
don't
contract
know.
is.
So
I'm
you
looking
think
at
they're gonna
Zach, 'cause
just let him go
I think so. I'm looking
or
at
trade
Zach 'cause I feel
trade
like
him if the
Zach
season's
knows
not
this
going
stuff.
good?
Yeah, I was thinking. I think they'll be pretty competitive.
I think they will be too.
So that whole division is kind of stacked besides the Orioles.
Yes.
So I don't know if they'll let him go at the end of the year. I don't know how Trevor Story feels about second base. I know some guys are whatever about it. Some guys want to stick to their one position.
If I was a major league player, I'd play anything.
I would, yeah. It surprises me that he went to Boston. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I didn't even hear about Boston at all until like the last day.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it either. Actually, my roommate is from Boston, so right when that happened, he texted me. He's like, "Did you see what happened to Story?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got just rub it in."
I think Nelson Cruz to the Nationals is another one that kind of confuses me because he's 41 years old, can still rake, but you would think he'd want to play for a contender somewhere at this age in his career.
All right, I just thought of this. You can go first after I have a little thought about it.
Okay, all I was going to say was maybe it's a mentor thing for Soto. Maybe give him some protection behind him, and I don't know. But what were you going to say?
No, I was saying maybe the Nationals just offered him a little bit more money than anyone else. And he was like, all right, I'll take the money. And then the Nationals in their head are like, we're going to suck this year. We'll trade him at the deadline, get some prospects maybe. I don't know if you get how much stuff you'd get for a 41-year-old,
Yeah.
but if a team wants a title, sometimes they get pretty desperate. So
Yeah.
I think he'll be traded by the deadline.
That's actually a pretty good thought. I didn't think about that. You're not going to get a ton for him, but you're definitely you would get some stuff. I mean, you
Something.
get Did you guys come in with any predictions? Did you guys pull those up?
I did all that, yeah.
Oh, right on.
Division predictions, playoff.
Yeah, I have division playoff. I don't have individual awards.
I did awards yesterday.
You guys want to start in the AL?
Sure.
What about the AL West? What you guys got there?
I had the Astros.
I had Astros number 1.
I had Mariners winning it. I know it's a surprise, but they've really bolstered up, and they were really competitive last year too.
Because they're in the hunt for the wild card.
Yeah, they were like on the last day they needed to win and have somebody lose, and it didn't work out. But I have Mariners 1. Did you guys do the whole division?
I did, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I did not. I thought we were just supposed to do playoff.
No, it's all right.
I had LA second.
Angels?
Right, I had Houston, Angels, Seattle, Texas, Oakland.
Okay, and I had Seattle.
That makes sense. That's what I had too, Zach. Going off the top of my head, because I had one of my wild card teams like in the hunt for the wild card. I have the Angels.
Let's go.
Me too.
Yeah, I have them in the playoffs. Yeah, I have Angels second, then the Astros third, and then the Rangers fourth and Oakland fifth. What did you have? Do you have Texas and then Oakland? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because Oakland's selling house right now. They're gonna be bad.
I
think Texas will be a lot better than they'll be. Maybe I think they'll be kind of close, a little under 500. But if Seager is healthy and they get like a pitcher that pitches better than expected, they could.
Yeah.
And Matt Carpenter's starting.
AL Central. I had the White Sox number 1. I actually had the Tigers number 2, Royals 3, Twins 4, Guardians 5th.
I had White Sox number 1. They're going to run away with the division.
Yeah,
I don't have anyone else in their division in the playoffs. I really think they could be really anywhere, honestly. But I have Minnesota second. I have Cleveland third just because their pitching staff's really good. And I think they can win a lot of games because they have some really good pitchers. I have Detroit 4, and then I have Kansas City 5th just because I hate the Royals with a passion. And I don't think they'll be that good.
Yeah.
But I like your Detroit pick because Detroit's kind of going upward, but
they're sneaky.
Yeah, but they have Javier Baez, and I don't think he's that good.
No. What you got, Colin? Who did you have winning it?
I had the White Sox winning it.
Okay.
I don't think that's really a contest.
No, it's not going to be close. AL East.
I had the Twins and the Tigers, like potentially looking kind of like on the outside end, looking at playoffs.
Yeah.
So, but in the hunt, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I'm really excited for the AL East here because I think we could be like our first. My first team could be one of your guys' fourth. So
just after we do this, or I'm just gonna say it now because of the way the new playoffs is, there literally could be 4 teams from the same division in the playoffs.
I know. Yeah.
So I have, and I don't like putting them here, but I have Tampa Bay number 1. When I compare them to the other teams, I don't think their talent is as good, but they somehow just win. I can't put a finger on it. Why? I had Toronto second. I had the New York Yankees third, Boston fourth, and then Baltimore rounding it out.
I got Baltimore first. No, I'm kidding. I got Toronto first. I just think their lineup looks really good. I think Matt Chapman was a really good addition just for defense. Like he's not an amazing hitter, but he hits with power, but just defense is good. And I think the rotation is going to be pretty good this year. I like all their pieces. I have the Yankees second. I looked at like a projected lineup with them in there and kind of their like projected stats, like some website did it. And I was like, holy smokes, they got some guys who can hit it. They don't have a lot of fast guys. They just have guys who hit homers, which I think in the postseason it's going to screw them over. But I think they will get second. And they have some good pitchers. And I have Boston third. I think their lineup looks really good after getting Trevor Story if he hits better than he has on the road. And their pitchers are okay. And then I have Tampa fourth. I think Tampa always seems a way to get it done, but I think this may be the year where these other teams are just way too talented. And I think Tampa, all these guys are going to be in the run for first and then in the playoffs, but I just don't think Tampa can do it this year. And then obviously the Orioles fifth.
Yeah, I have Toronto first, and then I had the Yankees, Rays, and then the Red Sox. So just those last 2 teams switched for you, Zach.
I also just didn't want to put New York and Boston number 1 either.
Yeah, that was part of it too. So.
I think we talked about it off air a couple weeks ago, maybe. And Zach was trying to really sell me on Toronto's rotation. because I was a little iffy about it. And you've sold me a little more than what I was. They have the potential to be really good.
Let me give you their I pulled up a predicted like lineup and rotation there first.
Yeah.
And they have the way they have it is George Springer leading off, pretty good leadoff hitter. Bo Bichette, who I looked at his stats like the other day, he batted like 290, had 30 home runs and like 100 RBIs.
A little under the radar. Yeah.
Very under the radar. Vladdy, he's amazing. Teoscar Hernandez had like a career year. He's been playing good the last few years. Matt Chapman, you can do some damage. Lourdes Gurriel, who's really good contact hitter. Grichuk just got traded today for Ramil Tapia, who's more of a contact hitter, fast guy. Probably, I don't know. Grichuk just either hit a home run or struck out.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Biggio and Danny, their catcher, they could hit good or not. But the rotation's Jose Barrios, who's been proven to be good. Kevin Gausman, who played good last year. Hyunjin Ryu, who's just solid. Alec Manoa,
yeah.
who he had a good year last year. That was his rookie year last year, right?
Yep.
He's a good prospect. And then they got the guy from, I'm not even gonna pronounce his name. The guy from Mariners, who's been pretty solid.
Yeah, you say Kikuchi. So
nice.
So if Barrios is going to be good if healthy, Gausman's the one guy for me. If he can pitch like he did last year, then they might be in the World Series for me.
Yeah. Their offense last year was incredible. Their pitching just wasn't. Well,
exactly.
I guess they did have the Cy Young on their team.
Robbie Ray, yeah. That was one of the reasons I have Seattle #1 in the West, because I think Robbie's going to be really helpful for them. And then Ryu's solid. Again, Ryu's been injury prone, so he needs to stay healthy. Kikuchi
He's also one of the slowest working pitchers ever.
Yeah,
I went to a game when he was playing for the Dodgers against the Cardinals, and oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen him before
so
too.
long.
Oh yeah. I guess we can go AL playoffs. Did you guys have seeds at all?
I did not. I just
had
I just highlighted the ones I thought would be in.
So okay, who is your ALCS champ? Like,
ALCS.
Who's coming out of the AL for the World Series?
I didn't do that. I just put whoever's going to be.
Off the top of your head, then who do you think?
Toronto, YOLO.
I'll go with Chicago.
Okay, I have Chicago as well.
Where'd you go, Colin?
I saw something about Giolito off the top of my head here, where something where really petty between. Did you see that? Really?
Yeah, it was like a $200,000 difference in price for his salary for this year to try to avoid arbitration. That's what they disagreed on.
Apparently, it got down to 50,000 is what I saw, which is ridiculous because you're a multi-billion-dollar, team.
Yeah,
so, and he's your ace. But I think the pitching is gonna be the difference. I have the Blue Jays and the White Sox in the ALCS, but I think the pitching of Lance Lynn and Giolito at the top is gonna help the White Sox get through. We can go on.
I have for all my playoff teams in the AL. I have Toronto, New York, Boston, the White Sox, Houston, LA. Those are my 6 that I have in.
That's absolutely awesome that you have LA. I have LA also. They're like my last team to get
I did because I'm like, I just want Mike Trout in the playoffs. That's really all.
Yeah,
and I think Syndergaard, if he stays healthy, they're doing like a 6-man rotation supposedly. So I think that could help him not get hurt throwing 2 pitches every game.
Yeah. Need Ohtani to stay healthy.
Yes,
for sure. NL West.
Dodgers.
Dodgers for me.
Yeah, I have LA, San Diego, San Francisco, and then I have all 3 of those teams in the playoff. Yeah, and then whatever after that.
Yeah, I have LA, San Diego, San Francisco, then Colorado and Arizona.
Okay. I have
and
LA.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I have LA, San Francisco, and then San Diego, Colorado, Arizona. Only because the only thing that I did that for is because Tatis is going to miss the first 3 months of the season. So I think that's going to put him behind. But what are you going to say?
I picked San Diego because I looked at their rotation. I'm like, if all those guys are healthy, they're really good.
Yeah.
Because they were all kind of hurt there at the end of the last year, I think.
Mm-hmm. The only team in that division I have in the playoffs is the Dodgers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have them in San Diego.
Okay. NL Central, I have the Cardinals winning it all. The Brewers, the Cubs, the Reds, and the Pirates. I said winning it all. I don't know why I worded it like that.
What I had. That's the exact order I had.
All right,
I
right.
had the Brewers and the Cardinals switched. So
Had the Brewers winning it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
NL East, I have the Braves winning it. I have the Mets second, Phillies third, Marlins fourth, and Nationals fifth.
Exact same.
That's same.
Yeah, good.
I almost
That's
had
good.
Philadelphia second, and then I changed it
too.
last night.
I changed mine
So I
last
was like,
night.
do I want Bryce Harper in the playoffs? No.
Yeah. I think if DeGrom and Scherzer can stay healthy, that's
Scherzer usually stays healthy. DeGrom is the
Yes.
one who's like,
there's going to
Nah.
be a point where Scherzer falls off, right? There's going to be a point where
I don't know. He's been
like,
so consistent.
Maybe not.
it's
Well,
crazy.
he's so competitive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For the playoffs, I had the Dodgers with the 1 seed, the Braves with the 2, the Cardinals with the 3. Then the 3 wild cards, I had the Mets, Brewers, Giants. Oh, I did have the Giants in the playoffs. Okay.
I had Atlanta, New York in it, St. Louis, Milwaukee, LA, San Diego. Hopefully the Cardinals can win it all.
Yeah.
But I have some doubts about that after the last couple of weeks with our general manager.
Yeah.
We can talk
I
about
have Atlanta, Milwaukee, LA. I had San Diego and San Francisco in the playoffs, and us as the wild card as well. But I think the Mets or the Phillies could slot in there, one of those wild card spots.
I even think Miami could like sneak in there, like in the hunt.
That's a hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take. I think the East, they just beat up on each other because they're all pretty solid. And
Yeah.
so they all kind of don't have great records.
Yeah.
Who's coming out of the National League to face Toronto and Chicago, like we said?
I hope the Cardinals, but it's probably going to be the Dodgers, like always.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be.
Colin, you got Dodgers?
Yeah.
I would say Dodgers, and I'm leaning towards that now. But if the Cardinals got Flaherty healthy and traded for Manaea from the A's or something, and you had Flaherty, Manaea, Waino, Matz, and Hudson going into the playoffs, I don't know, anything can happen. I'm really confident in our position players, like really confident.
Yeah, our position players are really good. It's our pitching that
Yes.
I've literally been thinking about. I'm like, our pitching staff is not amazing because Wainwright's only going to he can only carry us for so long.
Yeah. My dad threw out an option, and I thought it was kind of curious. I was going to ask you guys, what do you feel about like piggybacking pitchers? Not Waino. Waino can give you 6-7 every game. I mean, he's a horse, but to prevent injuries and like Dakota Hudson, he's not going to have a huge workload because he's come back from injury. You kind of ease him into it. Michaelis only goes 5, maybe 6 usually anyway. We don't know what Matz is going to do. So how do you feel
Matz will go long
piggybacking?
just because he's a more contact throw strikes pitcher.
I think so too. I'm confident in that. Yeah. But like guys like Hudson, Michaelis, if you want to throw Hicks in there for 3 or 4 innings, what do you guys think about that?
I'm more like traditional. I kind of like the traditional starter just to like give you the innings. Like in the olden days, they literally just pitch complete games every game. Like Bob Gibson had one year, he had more complete games than he did wins, which is crazy to me.
I'm very traditional too. I like that's why I loved Lance Lynn when he was here. Like the guy that he's gonna give you 110 pitches, and Waino still does that every once in a while now. Obviously, guys throw a whole lot harder now, so injury risks are a serious thing.
I think it's more trying to throw a slider at 90 miles an hour, like twisting, not like a fast. I don't think
all the torque it has. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the traditional closer. I like having one guy that closes out games. I think if you just go by matchups, I think it can hurt you because closing out games is, a very mental thing, and some guys just aren't built for it. I know Oli Marmol said recently that he's more of a matchup guy. He's going to be a little more like Whitey Herzog was in the 80s, where it's like whatever matchup works. I think Gallegos is going to get the nod the most of the time,
Yeah, for sure.
which I agree with.
I
And
kind of like the matchups a little bit. Like if you're a pitcher
yeah.
guy and it's like your closer lefties bat like 280 off of them.
Yeah. I like it to an extent. Again, it's just knowing your personnel, like which guys can't do it.
Yeah.
Like we saw last year, TJ McFarland was cool under pressure. I would
Yeah.
trust him in those situations. He kind of reminded me. I would prefer him over him, but Seth Maness, like for a little stretch there, the dude
Yeah.
would get ground ball after ground ball, and then he like just fell off.
I think we should have like a right-hander and a lefty who are like co-closers, kind of
Yes.
depending on it,
I
not
like
like
that.
rotating every time, because like you're not going to put like some like person who just started in the middle of the season who comes up in like World Series Game 5 to close the game just because he's good against the lefties or something. Like
Yeah. I like Genesis Cabrera in that spot if he can locate. He's got
that's his big problem.
As soon as you said that, I was like, yeah, if you can throw some strikes.
Yeah. Because the dude's like actually nasty. Like some of the
Yes, he
best
is,
stuff as a reliever in baseball. Probably I would say even top 10. I'd have to look at a list or something. But yeah, if he can locate and not hit, guys in the face every other night, then
unless it's
then
Bryce
yeah,
Harper, I'm fine with that.
Dude, when that happened live, I was actually so scared. That was absolutely insane. Conlon,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say Conlon said he didn't bring any like individual predictions in here, but Zach, did you have any for awards?
Oh, I got them all. Just tell me which award and I'll tell you mine.
Conlon, you can do it off the top of your head too, if you want. National League MVP.
I put Acuna, but my dark horse is Tyler O'Neill. If he plays consistent hitting, the whole season gets like 30 bombs, bats like if he gets up to like 290, gets over 100 RBIs. And I think his defense could set him apart, and just his speed. I think he could if he plays good. But Acuna, I know Acuna's not going to start playing until like maybe like a week into the season, but Acuna, I thought he could have won it last year if he didn't tear his knee off.
Yeah. I was thinking Acuna, and I actually thought about Tyler O'Neill as like a dark horse too. I think he's going to get some votes if he stays healthy.
Also another dark horse, Trey Turner. I like Trey Turner.
That's a pretty good pick. I didn't think about Trey. I think they're just going to be so stacked over there.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to put up crazy numbers. I tried to, whenever I made these picks, not make it all Cardinals because I tend to be leaning that way. I do have Nolan Arenado winning it. I think he's deserved it in the past, once or twice. And it just doesn't feel right that he doesn't have one. I think he's going to be comfortable in St. Louis this year. I don't think he's going to be, pushing to do it all. We saw him push a lot last year.
A lot of new players we get, it's like a lot of pressure when they go to a new place. I think Matt Holliday kind of struggled his first year here too.
Yeah, Goldie didn't perform.
Yeah, Goldie
well
struggled until like kind of the later end of the season.
Yeah, so Nolan's my pick. I think he's going to obviously win his 10th Gold Glove in a row, and I think he's going to bat higher than 265 or whatever he had. I predict like a 280, 35 homers, 110 RBIs, something good like that.
Did you see that him and Goldie they went someplace together? I don't remember where it was, to get custom bats. Like have people analyze their swing, get custom bats, and they've both been hitting pretty good in spring training so far. I've seen they both hit a home run. Besides
yesterday, spring training has looked really good. A lot of guys have been showing up. It's just, man, I don't know. It feels, and you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. It feels like it's been forever since baseball was here. Mm-hmm. So it's like a newfound like excitement that I have right now, which sounds really corny and cringy, but I literally am so excited for this season. Yeah. I have such high expectations. What about your American League MVP?
Let me hop in real quick. I think no, I don't want to give mine. Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
But no, I think this year we have an exciting team to watch.
I do too. I agree.
I mean, defensively, we got a great defensive team. I think
it's
we got
really
some
fun
really
watching
good
defense.
Yeah, I think we got some electric guys. Like in the bullpen who's got great stuff, like you were just talking about Hennessis. If we can locate the ball pitching wise, I think we can be really good. In terms of like offensively, we have some guys that can absolutely mash. Like, I mean, Tyler O'Neill, I love watching him bat, and just other guys. But going back to I looked up here the MVP odds. The Cardinals have 3 in the top 13. So Arenado's the 8th betting favorite. O'Neill is 10th, and Goldschmidt's 13th. So
Goldie was the highest ranked last year out of the 3. He was 6th in MVP voting.
American League?
I have Vladdy.
I have Vladdy as well.
I didn't want to pick Ohtani because I think it'd be too hard to repeat. But if Ohtani pitches like even remotely under like 4 and hits 30 home runs, he'll most likely get.
Yeah. I was thinking Trout. I
would almost put Trout too.
Yeah. It seems it's been a while since he's gotten one.
I almost put my dark horse as Jose Ramirez, but their team's not good.
Yeah, exactly. I think Vladdy in Spanish the other day said, man, what was it? He said like last year was like, what do they show before a movie? Like it's a clip
trailer.
Yeah, trailer. Preview. Exactly, trailer. He said last year was the trailer. Now you're about to see the movie.
He lost weight. He lost like 20 pounds. Speaking
of losing weight, really quick, Albert Pujols looks good, and he's still available.
I think we should get him. Like come on, he could hit his 700th home run with us, and he hits really good against lefties.
And he's your righty off the bench. Corey Dickerson is your lefty off the bench.
Yes,
DH or whatever. I don't know.
I do like. Speaking of Corey Dickerson, I really like that pickup.
I really like it too.
I wouldn't mind if we gave Albert a roster spot, because he played pretty well in the second half of last year after he went to the Dodgers. And I think if he came back here, he's somewhere where he's comfortable. He's in a place where he may or may not want to end his career. But I think he comes back, he has fun, and in those situations, he's probably playing pretty loose. He's comfortable. He might be able to do something for us.
Because that's how the Dodgers kind of used him. They only used him in situations where there's a left-handed pitcher. They're like, you bring experience, like one of the greatest players to ever play. You bring experience to the clubhouse. You're like a great leader, good camaraderie. Like him, Waino, and Yadi as our leaders, and have one of the greatest hitters of all time giving tips to like O'Neill or Bader or DeYoung, because he for sure needs tips.
Yeah. And this won't really play a factor as much because Goldie is very durable and he'll probably play 150 plus games. But if you ever wanted to give him a day off, you could throw Albert out there once a month or whatever. Because Matt Carpenter was kind of that guy. I can't think off the top of my head a guy that can play first. I mean, Tommy Edman probably could, but
Tommy Edman could play anywhere.
Literally.
Do you think Yachty will ever kind of give up catching, or if he can't catch all the time, do you think he ever switches over to first and he won't do it? I don't think his pride will let him do it either.
He's so stubborn, man.
He's gonna catch probably like 150 games this last season.
Yeah. Okay.
Andrew Kisner's looked good in spring training.
Yeah.
And Ivan Herrera is in the come up too.
So if I'm asking, like, if they're like, Yachty, you need a day off. Yachty gonna tell him to go?
Yachty's gonna DH.
And that's what I mean. Will he tell him to go like piss off? I'll play first. Like, I'm not taking a day off. Or do you think he just will be too stubborn to even I don't know.
Well, he showed up to camp like 2 days ago, and I don't know about if you guys saw it. He's chunky.
Yeah,
he usually slims down. He usually slims down like before the season and stuff. He looks like an offensive lineman.
That's my favorite though. He'll post his like mileage, like him running on Instagram, and it's like 3 miles, 10:30 pace. I'm like, I'm lower than that.
That's funny that you saw that. Athlete. That kills me every time I see that.
It's so funny.
What about National League Rookie of the Year?
I put that Suzuki guy the Cubs signed.
Okay. He's older, right?
Yeah, he's like 27. He is like a god in Japan. Like he's like one of Japan's best players. So I think he'll play pretty good.
I have two I put out. O'Neal Cruz is one that I didn't really know of. He plays for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's on the
but
top of a lot of people's lists.
he's 6'7" and plays shortstop, and that literally blew my mind, and it's
That's
still blowing my
crazy.
mind, and I'm still trying to register it.
God.
That's unreal. And then another one I just threw out maybe is Joey Bart, catcher for San Francisco. He's going to get a lot of he was number 2 pick in 2017.
Okay.
With Buster Posey gone, he's going to get a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
American League Rookie of the Year.
Adley Rushman.
I had Adley as well. Yeah. he's gonna
Also,
get
some
a ton
breaking
of
news right
opportunity.
now. Andrew Miller has retired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Breaking news.
Oh,
National League Cy Young.
Scherzer.
I was gonna say it too. He's another dark horse for the MVP.
Yeah, for real.
If he
Yeah.
lights it up, especially in that
So
market.
good. I love watching him pitch.
Mm-hmm.
I wish
I
the Cardinals would
had-
make a run at him. Sorry.
I wish so too. It would have been nice. I thought he would want, like, for years now. I thought he would have wanted to play here.
I
but
feel like
never did.
Mozeliak just didn't offer him anything.
It could have been that way.
The way it's seeming like he wants to go with our young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go with Woodford over Max Scherzer. Yeah.
Yeah. I had Walker Bueller winning the Cy Young this year.
There's a lot of good options.
There's tons. Yeah, it took me a while. American League Cy Young.
Shane Bieber.
It's a good pick.
I had Jose Ramirez as my MVP at one point. Then I'm like, I can't have him from the both same team.
Yeah,
So I took
yeah.
him off.
I had Garrett Cole. I know it's kind of a boring pick, but
Yeah,
I
it
had Garrett
was.
Cole winning. Yeah. Conlon, anything off the top of your head or anything?
No. I'll just embarrass myself. So no.
Uh,
Also, guys, I gotta hop off. I got class here in about 20 minutes, so I gotta walk over there. So
well, it was good having you back for a normal episode here.
yeah, sorry I can't stay the whole time. I was got class. Gotta go talk about some novels. So
No, you're good.
Joy.
it'll be fun. Yep. All right, thanks guys. See ya.
See you guys. Or see you later.
Yeah.
We're still going.
Yep.
Did you do Manager of the Year?
I did actually, yeah.
Who was your National League Manager of the Year?
I put our manager, Ollie Marmol.
I did too.
So I'm like, he's new. They usually give it to like newer guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if we win our division, I think he'll get it as like a new manager.
I had him as well, and
Because
then
Schultz got
wrapping
it his
up-
first year with us, I think.
Was that his first year?
I think first or
It
second.
was yeah. And I think we're gonna win the division, so I think that's gonna look good for him. And then American League Manager.
You go
of the
first.
Year.
I think I may have the same as you. The way
had
you've been
Scott
talking.
I had Scott Service.
I had him or
Mariners.
the Charlie Montoya Toronto's.
Montoya.
Because I'm like, if they win the division, I think he could get it. Or I put him too, or Cerveus, because they always pick a lot of guys who their team doesn't have a lot of talent, but they perform good. And I
Mhm.
think they could perform good this year.
You and I agreed on almost everything there, which is like a first. So I think we should acknowledge that.
Yes.
And then your World Series champ was who?
Hopefully us. Even though I
Okay.
said the Dodgers were going to be in it, I want it to be us. I'm going to go with us.
Would you pick Dodgers over Toronto?
I don't like the Dodgers, so I would pick
Mhm.
Toronto.
Okay.
The Dodgers are probably a better team and probably will win it, but I'm picking Toronto.
Yeah. So I picked the Cardinals in 6 because I literally wrote down I can't see Yachty and Wayno going out without the ultimate prize for
Yes,
what they have done.
And Albert when we get him.
Yes, please. But my next choice would be the White Sox. I think they're
Yeah, I like that.
right at the brisk of of being like a World Series caliber team. They have the manager, they have the pitching, their bullpen's unreal. They got Joe Kelly now, which adds another arm.
I wish we would. I speaking, if we want to kind of talk about just the Cardinals,
Mhm.
what do you think we're missing? Because I think we're like a really good contender, but I don't think we are a World Series team yet because our
Exactly.
pitching it worries the heck out of me.
Without Flaherty, we're missing an ace.
Yes.
You can't expect Wainwright to be the guy at age 40 or 41.
He literally
he's gonna be
carried us
amazing.
through that
Yeah.
stretch last year where everyone was hurt and we won every game. Every fifth start he had, we won. Like I was looking at his stats. He actually was in MVP voting. He was like 20 or something. And he pitched like a 3.06 ERA, which you can't expect that from him this year.
No.
Like just get it under 4 and I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Yachty's numbers are going to be down a lot.
Yes.
And I want to go over and maybe even next week, our top 10 at like each position. I saw the
Okay.
MLB Network does that every
Oh my
year.
God, they're so bad.
Dude, I literally got so mad when I saw it the other day.
Did you
A
see the
couple of
starting
them.
pitcher one? There's one guy I never heard of before that was on there. Or
Really?
maybe I don't know if it was the MLB, but just this other guy's list who works for MLB.
Okay.
And I was like, what?
Well, their catchers list didn't even have Yachty in the top 10. And I
Yeah,
know
there's a
Yachty's
lot of
not the
lists.
same, but
Yeah.
I would have him in my top 10. They also
But
had
my favorite-
Salvador.
Salvador Perez, #1.
No, they had Salvador Perez like 5th, and he's easily my number 1. Like, it's not close for me.
Yeah, he's a really good defender, and he hit like 40 bombs last year, which like
45 and 120.
literally shocked me.
Yeah.
Like he kept hitting them, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. It was like every game.
How old is he? Like 30?
I can check real
He
quick.
always, I think he's younger than I think.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was like 35, and he's like 28. And I'm like, that guy looks very old.
Yeah, he'll be turning 32 on May 10th.
Doesn't he look like he's 38?
Yes, he does, and he moves like it too.
Yes.
What were we saying Cardinals wise? Like what we're missing? Is that
Yeah,
what we're
like,
talking about?
do you think we need, like, how do you feel about I think our position players are good. I would like to have maybe sign like another veteran, like utility player, just in case Gorman and Yepes. If Gorman, I don't think is even on the 40-man roster yet either.
No, I don't think so.
If one of them
Albert
doesn't
would
perform,
fill that role.
yeah, which should be
Um,
nice.
Another bullpen like stud. We got a couple like little guys. They've honestly looked good in.
Which I haven't watched a ton of spring training.
So Drew Verhagen, he looked solid the other day. Who's the other guy we got? Nick Whitgren. Again, both of them
Are
I
those
think-
guys we just picked up?
Yes.
Okay, those are the guys we signed for like, or we were really cheap, right?
Yes, very cheap. And they
Okay.
were like both pitching in like Korea or something.
And we just signed a lefty like yesterday, or traded for him
Yes.
or something.
Oh yeah, his name's hilarious. Packy Naughton is his name. He pitched for
awesome.
the Angels, and I was like, my dad and I were laughing so hard about it, and we like looked up his stats, and I knew before I looked it up what they were going to be. It was like a 6.35 ERA, and like just
Nice.
oh my gosh.
Thank you, Mo.
There is a guy that we got from, I think it might have been Korea also. His name's Aaron Brooks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he pitched the other day, and he struck out 5 in 2 innings. He's more of a ground ball guy, and a lot of people are talking about him being the 5th starter to start the season. So that's a guy I'd like to watch out for. I think it's Aaron Brooks. He's an older guy. But it's Brooks is up there. Woodford's in the conversation. And he's solid. Just
How many
whatever.
years is the guys from Oakland those starting Mania? I'm very bad
Mania?
at pronouncing. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
how many years is left on his contract?
I can find out.
Because
And
if
then,
it's not as many years, like if it's like 4 or something, we're gonna have to give up obviously more pieces. But
Mhm.
if it's 1 or 2, you may not have to give up like a stud prospect.
So he signed a 1-year contract last year, it looks like.
Okay.
So he'd be a free agent after the year. Frankie Montes was the other guy.
Is
for
he a
the
righty or
A's.
lefty?
He's a righty.
Man, the other is a
And
lefty.
he's
I know he's a lefty.
Mania is a lefty, yeah.
Yes.
Montes is a righty, and he's also on a 1-year deal currently. So I would be willing to throw Gorman in there. I think he's going to be really good, but Gorman has the potential to bat 240 with 30 homers. Jordan Walker, on the other hand, could bat 310 with 35 homers.
Gorman's not amazing defensively yet either.
No, and he's 21. He's going to be turning 22.
Yeah.
Obviously still very young. Jordan Walker's like 12. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And also we
Jordan-
have a lot of prospects. I know me and you've talked about him, but Mason Wynn excites me
Yes.
too.
Uh-huh.
Two-way player. If you haven't heard of him, pitches and plays shortstop, is really fast and
Yes,
he played pretty good last year.
he did. I think he's going to start in Peoria this year, our
That'd be
single A
good.
squad. Jordan Walker, I read an article that
Is he gonna
and this
start in
is like,
Springfield? Because I'm coming to watch a game if he
yes,
does.
I think he is in Springfield to start the season.
Oh, yeah.
But the one, like somebody threw out an article, or like I read an article about somebody saying he could be, what if he was Albert Pujols and just like work through the system in 1 year, like Albert did, and then he just
Yeah.
like start him on the squad right now, which I think
be
would be
sick.
a little fast, but I'm
Very
not
fast.
against. I'm not against the thought of it.
If Yepes and Gorman suck, what's it gonna hurt to just
I
pull up
know.
another guy and see what happens?
I'm really excited to see Yepes play.
He's really short.
Yes, he is. And I watched him field the other day, and he had 3, like, they weren't his errors. They were our shortstop at the time.
Yeah.
Something like Tejeda. I've never heard of
Oh,
the guy.
Tejada.
It's Tada.
Is it Miguel
Um,
Tejada's son? That's what
it
I
could
first
be.
thought of.
Yeah. So he made like 2 errors towards Yepes, and they were Tejada's errors, but Yepes, like Goldie would have picked one and he would have easily stretched and caught the other. So Yepes is not very mobile over there.
Yeah, I could
so
tell when I first I really never saw a picture of him, and then I saw a picture of him. I'm like, yes, he is he looks.
Yes, a DH.
Yes.
Do you know when we got him? Because I always forget.
I do not.
We
The first time I
traded
heard of
Matt-
him was last year.
We traded Matt Adams for him from the Braves.
Score.
Like 3 or 4. I know it's a crazy good deal for us.
Matt Adams is still available.
He is. I mean,
Sweat boy, as my grandma calls him.
Sweat boy.
She's like, yeah, he just looks like a guy who'll sweat a lot. So then the whole season we called him the whole time he was with us, his nickname was Sweat Boy.
He was a big guy. He lost a bunch of weight, but yeah, he was a big guy.
I do have a hot take before we move on to whatever's
NFL.
next. NFL's next, right?
Yeah. We're gonna save my tier list for next week. So
Yeah, we said that like a while, but we will get it in.
Yeah.
We'll just keep you guys waiting. So if you tune in just for the tier list, come in next week. You may hear it or you may not.
Yeah.
This is my hot little thing I was kind of thinking about. I kind of want to hear what you think. What about the idea of trading Flaherty? Because because I don't know how many years he has left, but whenever he's done with contract, there's no way in hell he's going to re-sign with the Cardinals.
Mhm.
He gets injured quite a bit. He had that really good season. He's kind of he just has that like cockiness kind of where it's like you may not think everyone on the team really gets along with him. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? He just has that persona. Like,
yeah, he can rub people the wrong way. Definitely, I could see that.
I like Flaherty the way he pitches, but I'm just like, he's not going to resign with us. So I'm like, people are pretty high on him. Like, we could get a decent return, but also then it hurts our starting pitching.
What would the return? Would you look for like? It would have to be ready now talent, right? Or a combination
yeah.
of now and future.
That's the only bad thing is it's not good to trade a position away that you need in return.
Exactly.
But also, I think if it's like his last year, or I don't know, last year or something, we could trade him and get something instead of just letting him walk.
Do you think he's a number 1 ace? Somebody, and he was a Cubs fan, told me the other day, he doesn't think Flaherty's an ace. And I was like, you're crazy. But now, I thought about it over.
I think he needs to
week and a
prove
half.
more. He only had really one full season without getting hurt.
Exactly.
And that season was only he pitched really good that second half ish, like from June where he had went on that run. And then he didn't pitch that great last year. Like, he pitched solid, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many games did he pitch? He didn't pitch that much.
Not many. No. And he was a little up and down.
He wasn't great in the shortened season either.
No, he wasn't. No, I think that was his really bad year.
Yeah.
If we had like Scherzer, for example, and then Flaherty and Waino going to the playoffs, then yeah, I wouldn't be talking about this whatsoever.
Because like I just wish we'd get someone who we know has been really good, like has been extremely consistent. Like Scherzer, maybe like he's getting older, so it'd be a little risky, but like I just want someone who like we know what we're gonna get. It's not like we're getting a guy who's had like one good year and we don't know how he's going to play. Kind of like Ozuna. Like, he had an amazing year. We get him. He didn't go up to those expectations. Like, I just want someone who, like, we know what we're going to get.
Yeah. So I'm still stuck on the Sean Manaea thing because they're obviously giving up everybody. Sean Manaea is 30 years old, just turned 30. And then Frankie Montas is younger.
Like
He's
20,
a more
I think he's 28.
29. Oh man, I thought he was younger than that. Okay. He's more of a flashy guy. I would not be against the idea of trading Flaherty. I would have to like
Obviously, see what we get.
yeah, exactly. But he does need to obviously stay healthy and just prove that he is the number one guy. He does have that edge to him that you and I kind of like.
Like
on
the
mound.
intensity, he kind of has the intensity of Scherzer when he's pitching.
Yes.
But Scherzer, I think after he pitches, it like goes away. Like, he's friendly, but he just kind of has that. I don't know what it is. Like, whenever we were at Chicago and he was walking to the bus, he just had this
Mhm.
like thing where it just like I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain it, but it just kind
I
of
know.
rubs you the wrong way.
Kind of just a douchebag kind of feel
Yes,
to it.
exactly. Perfectly said.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of the Chicago trip real quick, you kind of it's just like a 20-second little or 10-second walk by, but you can kind of get that feel of who they
Yeah.
are. Tommy Edman always seems real humble and like
Yeah, he's just a nice guy.
I know.
How could you
Yeah,
not like Tommy Edman?
I know.
Tommy Edman's kind of like Giannis.
he is. Yeah. No, I have speaking of Tommy too, I have high expectations for him too. I think his
Same.
average is going to be higher.
I think he's
than
going to
what
work
it
on
is.
his getting on base, his
Exactly.
like his batting
Walking
nice. So
and-
I'm excited for that.
Anything else MLB wise before we move on to NFL?
I could talk a lot more, but we gotta move on.
Yeah, we got a super long season ahead of us. So we'll be
Got
talking
162
about a lot.
games plus these rest of these spring training.
Gladly 162. I'm glad it
Yes.
wasn't like 130 or whatever.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start NFL wise? A lot going on.
I
You want to
guess
start with the Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Because that surprised
5
me.
years, 230, all guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Browns are like, we are tired of having mediocre quarterbacks for the last 20 plus years. We just want a guy who's, as kind of baseball, we know is a superstar. Like, yes, he has the legal side of stuff, but like he didn't get charged, so we have no idea what's going to happen with the civil. He'll probably get suspended 6 games that I think players in the past have for similar stuff. So
yeah. Are they a contender if he's fully healthy and performing?
I'd say so.
Yeah, I agree.
Amari Cooper, he's amazing. I've watched him in Dallas. I'm still salty that Cowboys traded him. I thought it was stupid. But I think, yeah. And they have Njoku, who I think will play better with, and they have 2 amazing running backs. They're gonna have like the same attack, but a quarterback who can make every throw. Basically, they'll be able to run the ball against anyone and pass the ball against anyone. And I saw something that maybe OBJ may go back to the Browns.
I saw that too. Joe Johnson. I think he's a quarterback. Josh Johnson.
Yeah. He's been a backup for a very long time.
Yeah, he said you didn't hear it from me, but OBJ's coming back. And everybody was like, that'd be a little awkward, but no, I think they're a contender for sure. It leaves me questioning where Baker Mayfield's going to go. Like, is Mitchell Trubisky going to be the starter in Pittsburgh? Do you think?
He is going to be.
Okay, because I saw somebody was talking about on TV about
Dwayne Haskins.
Maybe Baker going to Pittsburgh.
The same division.
Exactly. That's what they were saying. Like that would be terrible.
He's not going to go to the Colts because Matt Ryan just went there.
That's another shock.
Yeah, Matt Ryan went to the Colts. If you didn't know,
that came out of nowhere.
I like it though.
I like it too.
Fresh
I was
new
just sitting
scenery.
in class and I saw it and I was like, "What the heck's going on here?"
They got a solid team. They got Jonathan Taylor, amazing running back, good defense. Maybe need like another wide receiver, but
yeah, their wide receivers worry me a little bit.
Michael Pittman, I think, played really good last year.
He's the only guy I could think of.
T.Y. Hilton's been injured, not as good since Andrew Luck and him were when he was doing TY in the end zone.
Yeah. Who's the other one they had? Oh man, I can picture him. Dang, I
Marvin
can't think
Harrison,
of it. Yeah. Marvin Harrison. Who was the other wide receiver they had too?
Reggie Wayne,
Reggie Wayne. Yeah.
and they had Dallas Clark.
He was tight end, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of want Julio to go there.
That would I still believe like he's got stuff left in the tank.
I agree.
Like I think he's got a lot left that injuries and whatever situation he's not. I thought he was going to thrive in Tennessee, but he didn't.
Injuries.
Yeah. So on the other side of that Matt Ryan trade, what do you think about Falcons? What direction?
They're going for a rebuild, obviously, but I'm super excited for Mariota to get an opportunity. I love Marcus Mariota, and I think he's been able. I saw like a video of him, and they were interviewing him about it, and the guy asked, he's like, "How do you feel about this opportunity?" He's like, "I just feel good." He's like, these last few years, I've just been kind of getting my body healthy and resting, and he's really smart and like a good person. So I think he'll perform pretty good. Like he doesn't have a lot of weapons, obviously. He'll have Kyle Pitts, and I don't even know who else is on their team. I think Cordell Patterson just returned to them, maybe. I'm not.
He was really good, especially in fantasy. Like
Yes.
the dude was nasty.
But I think Marcus Mariota could be pretty exciting to watch. He's always fun to
Mhm.
play with on Madden, at least.
Has he just been hanging out in Oakland as a backup?
Yeah, they bring
Right.
him in every once in a while to like do some like read options and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then speaking of Oakland, they're crazy Devontae Adams trade that went down. That's going to help Derek Carr.
They got the
extremely.
two best receivers in the league. Number one, Hunter Renfro. Number
Yeah.
two, Devontae Adams.
And Darren Waller's there too, which is another
Yes.
great,
And they also signed from the DeMarcus Robinson from the Chiefs.
I saw a picture of the Chiefs like wide receivers when they won the Super Bowl compared to what they have now, and it's just Pringle.
Hardman.
Oh, Hardman. Pringle's
They don't
gone,
have Pringle went somewhere. Robinson went there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other trade.
That's insane. Came out of nowhere, and it happened so fast, man. Like, for
you
those that
text me
don't
and you're
know-
like, he'll be traded, and I'm like, you gotta be high. That's like that's their motor of their offense.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody that doesn't know, Tyreek Hill of the Chiefs, one of the best receiver, like one of the fastest,
One of the most like I don't think you'll
elusive.
ever see someone like him in the NFL again.
No.
One of the most unique players ever.
Yeah. Was traded to the Dolphins for just a bunch of picks, right? A 29th
Yes.
overall pick and 50th overall this year, and then some others.
But the funny thing is, I think this is a not like one-sided win Miami to Chiefs for a couple of reasons. A lot of people are saying, or first reason, Tyreek Hill is electric. You can literally hand the ball off to him and he can go the whole length of the field. A lot of people, and then the other reason, sorry, I'll get to that other part I was going to say later, but the other reason is they still have 2 first-round picks this year, even though they gave up 2. So they're still getting first-round picks, getting good prospects. They didn't need 4 first-round picks. They used them to get someone else, which is smart. And then also I've seen a lot of people saying Tyreek Hill is not going to be the same without Patrick Mahomes. Like, yes, Patrick Mahomes is a really good talent, but a lot of times Patrick Mahomes would just throw a slant to Tyreek Hill and he would go the distance, or just throw like a little screen and he wouldn't even get touched and go 50 yards. Like, yes, Tua and his noodle arm may not be able to throw it 50 yards, but
Yeah.
Tua's completion percentage was really good.
I was
Really
about
good,
to
like
say that.
really good in the league last year. And he throws a lot. I think he's really good at throwing slants. Like in Alabama, that's all they run
Mhm.
as slants. And I just think him and Waddle, 2 of the fastest players in the league, it's gonna be really fun to watch.
Yeah, you and I even made fun of the Tua clip where like Tua throwing to Tyreek and he like just spikes it into the ground.
It was Tua throwing to
Tebow.
Tyreek, and it was Tim Tebow throwing an absolute duck. Like, it was not even close to spiral.
Yeah.
And there was not even a receiver in the area where the ball landed.
But I think even though you said like Tua can't fire it down the field like others can, he's so accurate on like short passes that I think
short and intermediate passes.
Yeah. You just get the ball into Tyreek and Waddle's hands and they're going to do the rest for you. So I think it's
Yes.
going to be really good for them.
I agree.
I saw one clip about a guy on TikTok saying that the Dolphins are going to be one of the worst teams in football, and he was talking about how the coaches left, so they're more of a run-oriented team. The coach coming in was more run-oriented now. They don't have a good run game. Myles Gaskin, and I can't remember the other one they have.
They signed Matt Breida.
Okay, so, but no, I think Tua is going to thrive. I think Tyreek's going to be amazing there. I think
Waddle played really good at the end of the year.
Good. I want to say he had the most receptions for a rookie ever.
Maybe
that he had some kind of record for a rookie ever.
And they have Gesicki, who's a really good tight end.
He's really solid. Yeah. And then, I mean, they started last year 1-7, and then they picked it up and won like 8 in a row or whatever it was to finish the season. So,
and their defense is pretty solid.
They are. So I have high expectations for them. The thing with the Chiefs is like they're going to be looking for a wide receiver probably in that 29th spot.
Yes. There's some good receivers in this draft class.
The only problem is, and I can remember one team off the top of my head, and I should have wrote down the second one. There's going to be other teams looking for receivers about that same time. Especially the one team that comes to mind is the Packers.
Oh yeah,
they have to do. Like, I
could see him getting one of those Ohio State receivers, Wilson or Olave. They're incredible.
Did Aaron Rodgers know before he re-signed that Devontae Adams is going to go, or do you think he's literally in shambles right now? Okay.
Because Adam Schefter, after Devontae Adams got traded, he tweeted and was like, "Yes, Aaron Rodgers signed his contract."
I think, they have to do something because it was Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, and if it's not them, they're not winning. And right now, who they have? Alan Lazard as their top one. Marquez Valdez-Scantling went to the Chiefs.
He went somewhere. Huh?
Didn't he go to the Chiefs?
Did he?
Scantling?
I have no idea. Juju Smith-Schuster went to the Chiefs. And then I saw Jackson Mahomes posted something on a story of Juju like signing and was like, "We need to collab." So I'm like,
yes,
Patrick Mahomes. God help you.
Yes. Scantling is to the Chiefs. He went to the Chiefs.
That's honestly a pretty good pickup for them. He's really fast.
I saw you give up Tyreek and then you get Juju, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and then who was the other?
You have Hardman already.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're still going to be dangerous. But the one thing for them is that you're giving up Tyreek Hill at a time where the division is the best it's ever been. Russell Wilson over there, and the Broncos are going to be great, I believe. Chargers are going to be great, and the Raiders made the playoffs. So
by far the best division.
Easily. I will say for my Seahawks, I was not real high on Drew Lock, and I didn't really have an opinion of him personally. But he had a press conference 2 days ago, I believe, and he's always been number 3. In college at Mizzou, he was number 3. In Denver, he was number 3.
I saw this.
So for those that don't know, Russell Wilson is number 3 in Seattle, and Drew said he's going to be number 2 in Seattle because he wants to respect what Russell did there, and he wants number 3 to be remembered as Russell's number, and number 2 to hopefully be remembered as Drew Lock's number. So I don't have any hatred towards Russell at all. I hate being on social media and seeing him post all this Broncos stuff, though. It's literally just punches to the gut. But
I saw something where one person was like, they're like, "I'm happy to see Russell go." He's like, "I'm tired of Russell Wilson always having to say like motivational quotes and just." I think Russell Wilson has to have people know how tough he is. Because like last year, he came back he said he's like, "Oh, I came back 3 weeks earlier than expected of my surgery," and obviously he didn't play good until after, like when he should have rested. He started playing good, or he's like, "Yeah, I did. I spent 24 hours stretching my finger or something."
Yeah. Do you like Russ?
I like Russell Wilson. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's still my favorite football player. So he was the reason I became a Seahawks fan. I'm not gonna jump off the team now since he's gone.
I'm proud of you, AJ.
Thank you. So I'm gonna hang on to him. I hope Drew Lock has some kind of promise. I saw Bobby Wagner is having like talks with the Rams, which literally is so disgusting to me. I would hold it against him if he went to the Rams, even though I love Bobby too. The only other thing NFL wise, unless you have more, is Von Miller to the Bills was a huge one.
Huge.
Because how old is he?
Like
In his
33.
Okay, he's turning 33 in 2 days.
Damn.
And then how long was his contract?
6 years, 140.
Oh my gosh. Like there's no way he plays till 39, right?
No.
For like what he does.
You're gonna get like a couple, like 2 to 3 years tops, like elite level.
That's a definite win now move. And the Bills
Yes.
are obviously they have to be in the top, I don't know, 3 favorites to win it all.
I don't
next
think they
year.
really had a solid pass rusher.
No, they had one. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. And I mean, they made a deep push last year. Where'd they
Mhm.
finish? I can't remember off the top of my head.
The divisional round, they lost to the Chiefs in that stupid game.
Yes. Okay. And they were without
Who won the game for the Chiefs? Tyreek Hill.
They were without Tre'Davious White, their star corner.
Yes.
Like almost the entire year, like halfway through the year, I think he got hurt. So they're adding him back.
Mhm.
Micah Hyde is a name on the defense I can remember, like safety wise, he's really solid.
They're strong safe. They both of their safeties were all pros.
Do you know the other one? His name?
Starts with the P. Pryor.
Okay.
I have no idea.
All right. But no, obviously they're winning now, getting Von Miller. Did Von do much for the Rams? Off the top of my head, I don't remember him being like a standout performer.
I think he did. I think he made an impact.
Okay. I know he was starting to show signs of declining in Denver, but they also weren't winning. So it was hard at this point in his career to be fired up to go play, behind like Drew Lock is on the offensive side. No more Drew Lock slander though. I'm gonna ride with him and see how it goes.
Yeah, you better not talk too bad about Drew Lock because he was one of the Mizzou's best quarterbacks ever.
Exactly.
Very good.
And maybe it's just a new fresh start, gets him going. I think I mentioned that to you. So hopefully he can get it going there. That's all I have NFL wise.